Hello everyone, guys. Today I actually didn't really plan to make this video. Sorry for my voice. I'm very sick, but because today I wake up again from very terrible news about Ukraine, I decided that I cannot not talk. Okay, so let's start. First of all, since 24 February, when this was massive bombing in Kyiv, all people start leaving on the first day of the war, of the bombing, people start leaving Kyiv. People was panicking so much because they didn't know what to do. Today, so many people said that it reminded them somehow a flashback from 24 February, and they still feel scared, but they don't have panic anymore somehow because they understand already what could happen, what you need to do. So somehow they already trained, and you don't see such panic all over the streets. So people are not massively living Kyiv. Even I want to say that attacks was all over Ukraine, and on 24 it was also all over Ukraine, but still people start leaving Kyiv so much. Today you will not find this. There is a bit more people on the gas stations, but in general it is somehow more stable. So what actually happened? Since people heard explosions was actually almost in all Ukraine, somewhere, everywhere something happened. But yeah, massively it was attack in Kyiv. It was so much in very different regions of Kyiv, because Kyiv is really big city. So today all people went to bomb shelter. We had air alarm in Ukraine every day since the beginning of war. In some regions it was maybe a little bit, not every day, every 2 or 3 days sometimes, but in general it was somehow every day. And for sure after Russians left this area around Kyiv, somehow people stopped really reacting on air alarms. Nobody was going anywhere, everybody was continuing their normal life, and it was looking like the life totally back to normal and nothing changed. So today, all people run to bomb shelters again. They go to underground parking, the one who has parking. The one who is living somehow not far from metro stations, they went to metro stations. And for sure all metro stopped driving, they stopped running, so they was just using the stations as bomb shelters. And some people who is somehow far from metro, from underground parkings or any kind of underground places, they were using the rule of 2 walls. So you need to have 2 walls in front of you, which will somehow protect you from this shrapnel which is going from the explosion. Or they actually start living and try somehow to go in some kind of more rural areas, and hoping that it will have less chances to be attacked. Even I would say that it's not really more safer, because Russian attacks doesn't have any logic, so they can actually hit anything, whatever you want. So they can hit any normal house in village even, instead of downtown in Kyiv. I guess it has somehow the same chances. Also today everybody started sharing information. What if mobile connection disappear? What you need to do? What should be your actions? And it was spread so much everywhere between people. So somehow people start getting ready for that and inform each other about such things as well. So today, at least in Kyiv, I'm not sure about other cities, all restaurants close at all, and actually many business close. So I have my relatives, one in West Ukraine and one in Kyiv. Both of them went to work today in the morning and they returned. So in West Ukraine they returned them, and in Kyiv they returned them. They said no work today, sit work from home. Medical, some kind of private small clinics, I know they closed. They also go take all stuff to bomb shelters. Actually, everything really closed. And everybody go to bomb shelter and sit and wait how the things will happen further. Especially that there was very massive attack today in Ukraine, 83 rockets, I guess, so far. And then they said there will be another attack about 4 p.m. So during the working day, somehow people was preparing for another attack. About kids. Kids today didn't go to school, and also our Minister of Education, he said there will be no school all over Ukraine also for the whole week, no study at school at all should be only online. So again, our kids will not go and have normal study at school, and this was one of the reasons why I actually take my daughters out of Ukraine, because some people is saying that I just used to chance to move to another country. I don't know why I should really be so much desirable to move to another country, but guys, this is one of the reasons, because this is very not safe and you never know when it can hit actually. Another things about electricity. So today there was massive Russian attacks, and some of them was targeting infrastructure objects really. So, and some of them just hit to playground, parks and so on. I will talk about that a bit later. So now about infrastructure. So many of the rockets, they was targeting some kind of electrical substations or small electrical stations to disconnect electricity. And somehow many of them succeed. Out of 83 rockets, I guess 43 they was able to shut down, but still a lot of rockets hit the places. So, for example, in Kyiv, there was so much places without electricity, and a good period of time there was no electricity. And you know, Kyiv as a capital, it has some kind of like backup lines and some kind of redundancy. So even if anything is happening with electricity, exactly in Kyiv, one line disconnected, there is another line, another line, and another line. So there are so many lines which is replacing the one and another in case that to keep the whole city somehow connected to electricity. And there was always a lot of talks about that, and it's not about war, it's about even when there is any disaster happening, natural disaster or whatever, always in some cities around or villages around, the electricity is getting disconnected, but Kyiv was always very reliable. And today almost all city was without electricity. Also same happened with most of other cities all over Ukraine. So in my native city, Khmelnytsky, which is on West Ukraine, I still have a lot of relatives there, so we talk with them today and I follow local news from our mayor. They said there is no electricity in the whole city, there is no water, and electricity, it's not just actually electricity, right? This is a pumps which is pumping water to all apartments and all residential buildings. Also, this is all trolley buses, because we have so many electrical buses in our city. And it's actually not just in my native city. The same things in Lviv, at least, and I guess in a couple of other cities it was exactly the same. The one which have electrical buses, the one which has a lot of trolley buses, those cities, so Lviv for sure and Khmelnytsky, they shut almost all like public transportation, plus there was no electricity, no water. And the government said that we will try to rectify it, and they return somehow electricity by evening. But they said that we want to ask everybody to not use electricity from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. So, because we don't have so much, we are not able to handle to supply electricity to everybody. And for sure, online, there are a lot of flash mobs. Let's have the evening of hugs and candles, and people start sharing. So many of my friends all over Ukraine, actually, they start sharing, and not just my friends, how they are sitting having some kind of romantic dinner, with how kids are playing with the candles and all these things. So people really shut down the light they're not careless. They really care somehow to help. Okay, now more about places of attacks. So actually there is so many places all over Ukraine. I cannot really talk about all of them because literally I don't know about these places, how they're located, where they're located. But there are two places, for example, in Kyiv, which would be recognizable for most of the people who ever visited Ukraine. So one, it is playground on the Shevchenko Park, which is actually in front of Red Campus, Red University, that I guess most of people was passing by once they was in Kyiv. And there is very nice playground for kids, and the rocket hit exactly the playground. And that is very crazy because, you know, I don't know what does it mean. So Russian weapon is totally not not precise that they cannot hit the right target, or they are deliberately targeting a playground. And you know, the area, again, if there was a lot of people who visited Kyiv, I'm sure they will remember this area. This area doesn't have any infrastructure objects. This is very historical downtown. It just have old buildings. It just have this university campus, park, and nothing around even. So you can say that even they try to hit something a bit left or a bit right, but they reach to playground. No, there is nothing around at all. It's very, very historical old downtown. So that was the first place. And the second place, which also so many people will recognize, this is the walking bridge, which is made from glass at all. This is new, I think. I guess they opened it in 2019 or 18 or something like that, 18 or 19. And this bridge is at all located on the hill, and after the hill there is already Dnipro River. And this hill is actually doesn't have any buildings, not just no military bases or something, doesn't have buildings because it's a harsh curve somehow, full of trees. And this is just some kind of like very natural area in the downtown also of Kyiv. And why they hit by rocket exactly this place and what they was targeting, maybe they was targeting this bridge, but even this bridge is just for walking. It doesn't handle even cars or something, so it's hard to say. But a lot of people are making so much fun because the rocket hit exactly next to this bridge. And you know, this bridge is made from glass, and this bridge didn't get destroyed. Only some glasses from the railings, they fall, but the bridge by itself didn't get destroyed. While Crimea bridge, it was super protected. Russia was super proud of it, and just because of explosion in the car, this is not rocket which is hitting the bridge. I guess it is much less powerful. The whole bridge falls, so they are making so much fun that you see even such protected bridge, same like the whole Russia, which claimed to be very powerful, it fall, and while walking bridge made from glass in Ukraine with no protection, it survived rocket attack. In general, by the way, you can notice that people is trying to cheer themselves up, and this is somehow natural reaction when you are so much stressed. So they are singing, like the things which you saw, they try to make some fun, they try to make some jokes and so on. It's not because of silly mind or something, it's exactly very known reaction on the stress, on some very terrible situations. You just need to turn this to joke and try to cheer yourself up, even understanding the whole bad things about the situation. Another thing which happened today, it's everybody starts sharing about donations. So we have one guy, he used to be a comedy showman, but since 2014, when Russia from the first time invaded Ukraine, he became a volunteer. So he's still a showman, but he's also doing a lot of volunteering activity, and he is real volunteer, not like, you know, some people doing this just for camera. I go, I make something and thank you. No, he's seriously volunteering for a very long time. So he gained a lot of trust from people, including me. And one time they was collecting money for Bayraktars. This is some kind of pilotless drones or planes. which is carrying the bombs, and they was collecting for 3, they collected actually for 4, so people over donated, and at the end Bayraktar give it for us for free, so they invest in some kind of satellite which is doing super precise pictures. Anyway, today they opened a new kind of like a collection for also for some kind of drones. And people start donating so much. Everybody starts sharing their screenshots, how they're donating money, encouraging others to donate. And by the way, I also encourage you, if you really want to donate something to Ukraine, I really trust this guy. I actually didn't really share with you a lot of things about donations, only our national bank account, because I cannot really verify all these companies. I don't want to recommend somebody who will find out that they are scam, because very often such things happen. So this guy is very trustworthy somehow. He's very known in Ukraine since 2014, so you can safely, if you really want to join, you're most welcome to donate. I will leave the link in the description of this donation page. And actually the last thing which we have today, it's talks about attack from Belarus. So Putin tried to grab Lukashenko as much as he can to war. From the beginning of war, he tried to grab him to fight also. And Lukashenko didn't dare, because his people totally not supporting him by themselves. So, you know, he's risking so much that they will all submit, or they will turn to fight against him like some kind of malicious army. So he tried to avoid it in all possible ways. But anyway, somehow it goes down. And now they start preparing the things again. And I have a couple of friends who is fighting also on, who is not fighting, who is based somehow on the border with Belarus. And they said that recently they again start feeling that there is attacks. They start preparing, they are really preparing that there will be attacks. There is again a lot of talks that they can try to attack Kyiv second time, to invade by land. Not sure if this could happen, because I feel that they don't have enough people actually to fight with existing things. I don't know how they will have more people for invasion. Anyway, this is what everybody start discussing now, but I guess the night today and the next couple of days, they will show what will be the strategy for the people. So does people want to stay in Kyiv? Will they start leaving? Will they start again going abroad more, because so many people returned? Okay guys, thanks for watching this video today. Please share your thoughts. What do you think? Is it the agony of Putin already? Is this the end? Because I believe that, you know, in the end of war, it's always the most terrible things. It will get escalated to the maximum and then it will finish. Somehow this happened with Second World War, as far as I know. Same, for example, it happened with our revolution in 2014 until it reached to the most terrible things for us. Then it stopped. So I feel that somehow this war maybe will finish also with, it will reach to something more crazy, and then it will stop. Anyway, write me your thoughts, your ideas. What do you think about that? And thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to this channel. I will keep you updated. Bye bye.